Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great Thursday. Well, that thing should have shut off, but it did not. There we go. Let's go ahead and dump the rest of these banners, and that one's going to go away. Boop, boop. All right, let's see here. Looks like you guys have been pretty active in the comments on the YouTube side, and currently Rumble is beating YouTube by 2. Rumble 14, YouTube 12. And let's see here. We're kicking it out on we're kicking it out on the Odyssey, but 0 people watching, and that is okay. You got to start someplace, guys. You got to start someplace. All right, so let's go ahead and start on the Rumble side because people know where they are over there. West Virginia Pappy first, and Catitude number 2. Andy Pearson, yeah, you are correct, my friend. You are deterred. Let's see here on the YouTube side. You guys were going crazy. David was like first. Cool coat. Number 2, West Virginia Pappy, omnipresent as usual. You are deterred. And then we got Rose, Cool Colt, Jordan, Bradley. Oh my God. You guys are just having a chit chat, weren't you? There. Catitude's here. I got you. Catitude, you're kind of everywhere, I guess. Oh, that's right. You switched. We got Brian. Good morning. We got Preston, Ian, Viking Queen. And we got Andy Pearson and Bradley Collins. There we go. And thank you for the 5x5, Bradley. I appreciate it. I want to go back and look at those comments real quick here. Let's see here. Do we have anything on smoke signals? On smoke signals? And is that even a thing anymore? I'm not sure. But yeah, it is. It was once a thing that worked. Let's see here. Just the obvious. See smoke, call for fire department. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Brad says, I made it, but I'm sure by the time the show begins, I'll be working and missing. Yeah, that will happen. And then he continues to type. That's, whoa, cool. I think, oh my God, I can't even do this. What's Jordan? Jordan wrote a whole paragraph here. My did colors in the window. Green equals good. Blue equals she needs to go to the store. Dad would look up the hill when he was so morning chores. She had a landline, not cell, so she could call for emergencies. I got you. So you guys had a signaling plan. That's what that's called. Let's see here. Rose says there's something to say about landlines. At least we could make calls even when we were from. Yes, it was a persistent fact. You could do it. Where we got here? Not knocking the music, but it is from a fishing or racing game. I swear it's so familiar, but I can't put my finger on. Bradley, it's just it's just free music offered in the software that I use to stream to do these live streams for you guys. That's all. That's really all it is. I could have picked something else, but I like to be a little bit more upbeat in the morning. Kind of gets the day going. Okay, looks like we are all up to date on the chats. Let's go ahead and kill that right there. Yeah, and hopefully you guys have your coffee and you are ready to roll. Dead even now. 14 on the YouTubes, 14 on the Rumbles. Okay, we'll see if there we go. YouTube just screwed up. Okay, so let's see. As usual, first thing, prep stock. Prepstock.net, guys, go there, get your tickets, find out what the hell is going on for all those people that are watching afterwards. Nebo, North Carolina, October 12th through the 13th, and we're even having a breakfast on the 14th. Everybody is, and the breakfast, you don't even have to, you didn't even have to go to Prepstock. You can just show up and say, hey, I'm here for Prepstock and hang out with us for breakfast, and we can talk preparedness and what happened the days prior and all that good stuff. Going to be giving away a lot of it's, there's words I can't use. I can't say like prizes because it's like, then that infers certain things. The state of North Carolina is very picky about how you give things away. So we're going to be gifting people lots of stuff. Okay. So now that we've got that all knocked out, this is for this next comment is for the smart aleck who doesn't understand how fast forward works. Apparently he watches the live streams. But I think he's watching the live streams after they're finished. And he's like, the music is, the intro is too long. And he doesn't understand that basically you're coming in here, you're building community, and it gives people a chance to get in and that way they don't miss anything. It's also good for me. It's good for me as a developer because it gives me the chance to, once everything goes live, to like send the links out to all the different places, because that doesn't just happen magically, guys. That's me like going to every single website in that 10 minutes to push this word out. So, because we all know how good YouTube is at getting the notifications out to people. It's always the best. It's just the best. All right. Good morning, Beecher. Good morning. Good to see you. All right. So looks like the numbers are going up. 17 on the Rumble, 15 on the YouTube. Go, 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 go. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into it, because it's a Friday and I got stuff to do. As we go along, as we move down through the preparedness highway on our preparedness journey, we've got to talk more about communication strategies, guys. And if we don't, then we're going to miss all the little things. We're going to have we're going to have tons of radios that are just, oh, excuse me. Oh, there it is. Time to drink. First yawn of the day. Laser, good morning, my friend. Good morning. Anyway, so we've got to have some certain strategies in order to play our communications game, because if we don't, we're just going to have a bunch of UV5Rs sitting on a charger waiting for the apocalypse with no real plan. So what we need to do is we need to set up effective communication strategies, because they are essential for ensuring that all family members or team members can stay informed, connected, and safe during emergencies, or even just routine activities on the other property. We use radios quite often because it's a good sized property, and if I'm out working in the yard or somewhere, then it's really easy to get up with me. And where that property is, these things don't work too well. So having yourself a little communication strategy is pretty good. You got to have a plan. So here we're gonna go through basically like a step-by-step guide to establish these strategies and give you guys some ideas to work on your communications plans. Okay. Good morning, Bob. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to identify our communication needs. Okay. It's kind of a two-step process. We need to assess the situation and then determine requirements. It's really that easy. Now, within assessing the situation, we have to think about routine versus emergency. Now, with routine assessments, or the assessments of your routine use, you probably need to think about doing daily check-ins or even updates to your system, to how you're doing things, to your plan, to your strategy, and then how you're going to use that particular communication asset or that communication technique. Okay. And then in emergencies, how are we going to use them during natural disasters, medical emergencies, or any crisis? And this kind of sounds like, well, I'm going to go, yeah, or I'm going to pick up my phone, or I'm going to use an app or something. But we have to really determine that, and then when we do start to determine the actual requirements, we need to think about the family size and any special conditions. You may have noticed that I'm starting to use special conditions in almost all of my videos, because we often forget about them, and I don't want you to forget about them. So when we start talking about family size, consider the number of people and their specific needs. Okay. And also with the special needs, we need to account for any members with disabilities or special requirements. Is Uncle Johnny, who is, missing a leg and can't get around, or I don't know, is Uncle Bob has got no arms and legs or something, you know what I'm saying? You have fun with it, but think about any special requirements for anybody that may have special needs within your group. So, all right. So the next thing we need to do is we need to develop a communications plan. Emergency contacts. You guys hear me talking about the contact list. It is a moral imperative. With the contact list, you need to compile a list of essential contacts, including family members, friends, neighbors, and emergency services. And don't forget the out-of-town contacts. You want to designate a person outside of your local area for all the family members to contact in case of emergency. Maybe the primary contact is mom and dad, at the house, at the stronghold. or and then maybe Uncle Joey lives in the next town over. And if you can't get up with mom and dad, then you definitely get up with Uncle Joey, because he might also actually be not only the next point, your out of town point of contact, but he could also be that person that you might rally around during an emergency if mom and dad's stuff gets wiped out. All right. Let's see here. I'm not seeing anything in the comments. Am I talking too fast this morning, guys? I'm feeling a little tight with all this coffee rushing through my veins right now. I got to ground them beans up myself, and got that hot water. Made me some good hot coffee. Okay, so my assumption is that you guys haven't actually thought of any of this stuff, because otherwise you'd be telling me all about how your plan is set up. So maybe I'm doing a great thing here. I think that's what's happening, but we'll find out. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about is information sharing. Phone tree. Thank you, Jordan. Bradley, you're doing just fine. Busy parking trailers. Okay, Bradley. All right. Let's see here. Thank you, Catitude. All right. So information sharing, key information, medical details. With key information, you need to ensure everyone knows the important details, such as addresses, emergency meeting locations, and contact numbers. Guys, that phone tree is so important. It's so important. It's literally the core of your communications plan. It's the core of your communications plan. And then with medical details, you need to be able to share critical health information about allergies, medications, as such. There's information, knowledge is power, information is power, guys. And the more you have, the more you can lock into your brain housing group, the more you have access to via some kind of phone tree on your refrigerator, held down by your $1.25 tree store magnets, and how it somehow mysteriously replicated it through all your loved ones' houses. It is power. It gives you the ability to flex when things go bad, and it gives you a system. Okay. Speaking of systems, alert systems. We've talked about this before, guys. Matter of fact, put it in the chat if you have taken my word to heart and signed up for some form of alert system. Put a 1 in the chat if you have done that. Alert systems, you need to sign up, and then you need to think about the devices. So signing up, you want to subscribe to local emergency alerts and weather notifications. It could be a NOAA weather alert. It could be a tornado thing. Could be an app. There was an awesome app some years ago that I used to use for hurricanes. And as soon as a hurricane got freaking fired up deep out in the Atlantic, boom, I got an alert on my phone. And when it changed status, I got an alert. And it got pretty handy. But there was one year where it was just like overload because we got swamped. And then devices, either mobile devices, you need to ensure that mobile devices are set up to receive alerts. We run into this. I hate to say this, guys, but your phones are extremely powerful. And sometimes we just move so fast we don't even know what we're doing. In some cases, I'm going to give you a comparison. On your phone, there is a setting for notifications. You can turn it on or you can turn it off. You can even turn on and off notifications on the phone for specific apps. Okay. Many times when you uploaded when you installed your YouTube application, you were given the option to get notifications and you said no. And then you love all these videos, not just mine, but you love all these videos, and you're like, notify me. And then you want to know why your YouTube's doing what it's supposed to be doing, but your phone's like, nope, block, talk to the hand, So you need to make sure that your mobile device is set up to receive those alerts as well. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, had them for years. Cool. Got you guys that have actually done this, that have actually found some kind of alert. I get an email and a text from the town that I live in if there's anything going on inside the town that's out of the ordinary. So look for it. Go find it. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. In fact, both your local, state, and municipality governments they've been given money by the federal government, oodles and oodles of dollars, to set up these systems for you to use for free. So please take advantage of them. It doesn't hurt anything, and it's absolutely free. And then if you decide later on you don't like it, you can just opt out and you're done. It's that easy. It's absolutely that easy. All right. All right, let's see here. We've been going at this for a little bit, so let's go ahead and throw some stuff out there. I do not have a banner for this product that I am going to promote right now, and the reason is because it just happened yesterday, and free ain't free, especially free apps. That's a personal opinion, Andy. I could give a crap what the Chinese are doing with my phone. Anyway, we got a new sponsor for Prep Stock, guys. Are you guys familiar with Grail, Grayl? You know, you're talking about that high-end water filtration system that you can take anywhere and do anything with. Yep. Just got with them yesterday, or sent them off a message yesterday, day before yesterday. They got back to me yesterday, and they're going to be providing us with some stuffs, some things. Hint, hint. Water filter. Maybe one or two. I've asked for a couple of them. Maybe a couple of nesting pots for these Grail water filters, and they're going to be giving them to us to give to you guys. For those people who actually go to Prep Stock, you'll have the opportunity to be gifted one of these things if the gods choose that it should happen. So I want to let you guys know, and I'll definitely have to be making a little banner for the Grails. If you guys don't know what it is, you might want to look it up. Grayl. They are probably the god. They are the holy grail of portable water filters. Not a joke. Not a joke. Okay, so since we didn't change that, let's go ahead and change. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let's change that right there. We got to give everybody a little bit of time there. Matter of fact, I got to get Grail up on one of these too, because I don't think I have one for them either. All right, so choose communication tools. Okay, looks like we got a couple things in that hat. Debbie made it. Good to see you. Off-Road Armada. Late jumping in, gents from South Carolina. Yeah, you missed it, bro. Did you see the Off-Road Armada is our newest Patreon. I love this guy. And he's the one that jumped in because we were giving away the radios. We're starting to do the monthly giveaways again on the Patreons. So he got in on it, and I just want to let you go. You didn't win. You didn't win, bro. You didn't win, but that's okay. We still love you. I put it all over the Patreon. Priscilla won. I'm not going to say her last name, but Priscilla won, and she's been a loyal Patreon since August of 2022, actually. So sent her off an email, hoping to hear back from her very shortly, so I can get that radio to her in the mail. Oddly enough, I actually received an email this morning from a company I think it's called Revetis, and they want to send me a base station, a GMRS base station, to make a video with, and obviously to be mine, but I would probably just give it away. We'll see what happens. I might fall in love with it. I might not. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But someone's going to enjoy that radio, and you guys are definitely going to get the opportunity to see it on the boob tube, on the YouTube. Off-Road Armada says, no worries. I'm staying for the content more than an giveaway. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, I get contacted. You know, guys, I honestly get contacted by consider me in the giveaway. I got you, Jordan. I do. I get contacted a lot. It's either somebody trying to say, oh, the algorithm doesn't like you and you need to optimize this, and I can help you, and welcome to the local Quickie Mart, because that's where all the emails are coming from. You know, it's like, so go away anyway. But I do have a lot of companies that contact me and say, hey, you know, we'll send you this if you make a video. Yeah, sure, whatever, you know. And that's how I'm making sure that you guys get one. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and talk about choosing communication tools. Now, tools can be lots of things. Especially this coffee. This coffee is a tool that helps me to continue to speak at the rapid rate. So the primary tools are going to be your mobile phones. That's still, I don't care how much of a super duper off-grid prepper you are. The primary is always going to be this technological advancement that literally puts Star Trek in our hands. All right. And we're going to make sure that we ensure everyone has access to a phone and knows how to use it. Also, text messaging. We're going to use SMS for quick, reliable communication when voice calls may not work. If you guys haven't noticed with the updates of the last few operating systems on Android, if you were in an area where you did not have, I think it's DMS texting capability, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And that is like you can see them reading it. It shows you the two blue little circles. Hey, this has been seen, that kind of thing. With that, it will actually tell you, hey, what you just sent didn't go through. You want to switch to SMS, which is the original method for texting. And it uses almost no data whatsoever. So where are we at here? Social media, establish a private group or chat for family updates. Yeah, I don't know anybody who doesn't have a Facebook Messenger group for just the family. If you don't have one, I recommend that you get it and only use it for those kind of conversations. Don't be yapping on about all this stupid stuff. And if anybody starts doing that, square them away and let them know that, hey, this is for family matters. This isn't for you to have, a 27-page, dissertation between you and your cousin about how you didn't freaking like the way their mashed potatoes were made. Okay. It's for communicating with the family, relaying information. Hey, we're getting together for a family meeting. We're going to have a family supper tonight at the local restaurant. Or, hey, oh, by the way, is everybody batting down for this freaking hurricane that's coming? I hope so. Let's keep in touch. Simple things like that. But you got to reel that stuff in as soon as it sticks its head up on these little social media private family chat things, All right, let's see. We got something here. Jordan says sometimes texting 911 when you don't have service will work. Yes, absolutely. It is part of the digital network now. I believe that was actually implemented in one of the national security bills several years ago for that to be implemented at the 911 level. So, yeah. Let's see. Rosie says AT&T or who? I don't know. AT&T or whatever wants you to stop support or landlines. This morning government said no. Yeah, landlines will always exist. Where we live here on the Eastern Shore, the Verizon will no longer install a physical landline. If it exists, you can use it, but they will no longer install a new physical landline. And it's funny too, because for some of the I hate to say it, but older generation, older than I, of course, they need a landline in their house, and some of the houses weren't built with landlines, and they've never had one in the house. And so what was ending up happening is, like with Spectrum, you can actually pay for they're calling it a landline, but it's not. It's an IP. It's an IP phone, internet protocol phone. But it's a phone. It's in the house, and they don't understand that it's ran by the internet, but it's still this phone that's in the house. And I think it's $10 a month if you just add it onto your plan. So if grandma and grandpa need some kind of phone, maybe you need to do that. And here's the neat thing too: when they wire it in, they actually wire it into a central system that goes directly from the router to the core system, the core wiring system in the house, so that you can have, just like before, you had phones all over the place, but they all had one line. You can do it the same way. Let's see here. All right, so secondary tools, guys. Secondary tools. Email. The use of detailed updates, or when the phone services are down completely. Emails, they go right out. You could write this entire email up. You could have something pre-made on your desktop. A message pre-made. Hey, listen, and you could have a set up email list that goes out to all the family members, and then if everything goes wacko, then they know to check their emails, because these are secondary tools. This is like, if you're using secondary tools, something's really wrong in the world, guys. And so you probably need to have those things. Let's see here. And obviously landline phones have a landline as a backup for emergencies. We just talked about that a little bit. And then obviously the old handheld walkie-talkies, they're used for short-range communications during outages or emergencies, unless you set up yourself a giant repeater, which we've talked about before. We got Andy just says, Ham Shack hotline utilizes an IP phone and the internet to access digital radio networks. Yeah, those things are pretty interesting. The only thing is that they're dependent on the internet. Um, you know, it's there's can you still use dial-up? Yes, if you're wired in, yes, you can still use dial-up. But there you were starting to see lots of advertisements for these tiny little radios that transmit all across the United States. And I was doing some research on them yesterday. And the thing is people aren't understanding that they are dependent on the internet. So they're not true radios in any way, shape, or form. In fact, they're what they call Wi-Fi radios. So if you take it out in the middle of nowhere and you're nowhere near Wi-Fi, it don't work. And the idea is that it uses Wi-Fi to make the initial contact, gets into the internet, finds its way to the Wi-Fi nearest you, and then down through your little mini handset, your little mini push to talk button. So be aware of that if you're going to spend any money, because they are not cheap. I saw one for a cheap one that does work well. And it's actually a pretty good company if you want that tool for around $200 per radio. So just kind of be aware of that. Be aware of that. All right, let's see here. And then we've got emergency tools now. Two-way radios for communications when phone networks are down. We know this is going to happen sooner or later. Oh, there it is. Oh, is that number 2 or is that number 3? I can't tell. Put it in the chat. Oh, it's so good. Two-way radios, that's always going to be our go-to. And have a plan to use them and understand that they are imperfect devices. They don't just get to, thank you, Jordan, I appreciate it. They don't just get, because you pushed it, that the button, that it's going to go exactly where you want it to do. There'll be no interference whatsoever to be a crystal clear on a perfect day. No, two-way radios are not perfect devices. So make sure that you understand that. And then, the other thing too is whistles. You can use whistles for signaling in case of emergency, danger, or if you're even trapped. It's not a bad little tool to have, which is why it's on the list. And we could probably talk about some other emergency tools, but let's face it, there's so many out there. The list would be so long that it wouldn't get through this video. What do we got here? Andy over on the Rumble side says, my DMR radio uses 2 meters, 70 centimeter to the repeater, then jumps to the internet. Yeah. But it also does analog. I got you, bro. I got you. Let's see here. Let's see. Number 4, establish communication protocols. Guys, we've talked about this before. We've got to have a plan. We've got to have a plan. And, one of the things that we need to do is actually, for routine communications, we talked about the daily check-ins, establish regular times for checking in with family members. This could be, and this isn't like, hey, it's time to make the donuts. This is, the emergency has passed. We need to maintain communications, and we know that at 10 a.m. or no, let's do a better one. 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. We're going to check in on the radios, make sure everybody's okay. And that comes into update. Sharing plans, or update sharing plans and schedules regularly to keep everybody informed. So for routine communications, routine is routine. We're just doing this. This is an administrative thing. It's, we're just staying in touch. Now with emergency communications, obviously we talked about that contact plan. We need to ensure everybody who to contact first and in what order. When we start talking about the contact plan, it's different than the tree. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one person is identified to start making phone calls. Okay. That's normally the best thing. Otherwise you end up with, it's not just that if there was an emergency, and it was a big one, that the phone lines would get all jammed up. It's just that Uncle Johnny doesn't need to be making phone calls if Uncle Tony is designated to make those phone calls and pass the word. It's just doesn't need to happen. It's just there's a difference between redundancy and ridiculousness. So keep it simple. And obviously the meeting points, agreed on predetermined safe locations where family members can meet if they get separated. Rally points. We talked about this the other day. And then obviously we need to practice it. We need to do some practice drills, regular drills, maybe once a month or once a quarter, conduct regular communication drills to ensure everyone understands the plan. I would probably do it once every quarter unless there were some changes. And then obviously scenario testing. This is where we find out what if this thing really works. Scenario testing. We want to practice different scenarios to identify and fix potential issues. This is why the military does exercises. This is why they push protocols and they just ring this out. This is why they do after actions, which we'll talk a little bit about towards the end of this live stream. Let's see. Off-road Armada said, I would highly recommend checking out S2 Underground's Ghost Net protocol. I think so I've actually been in the presence of this gentleman who runs the S2 Underground. I'm not highly impressed with him, but I see what he's doing, and I think he's doing good things. So if you guys want to check out GhostNet, definitely do it. And if he's got a specific protocol that's related to communication strategies, Off-Road Armada says it's good. Let's go take a look at it, man. Let's go find out. Matter of fact, I should probably make a mental note and see if I can go check it out, because it might be better than the one I have. Let's see. Brian says the 333 radio plan, also known as the survival rule of threes, emergency radio schedule. Yep. That has been out forever. If you guys don't know what that is, matter of fact, let me give you some props for that, Brian. A lot of people don't know what that is. And honestly, we don't have time to talk about it, but please do take a moment to go and check that out. It has been around for a long time. They actually use it in rescue situations where communications could be a factor. Let's see here. Call list. Call list. You can. Okay, I want to put that up there. I'm going to read that out, Rose. Call list. You call next person. If not reached, you call a lead to call the next person in line to keep it going. That is one way of doing it, but that's kind of a chain. And that the problem is that you don't really know who's missing. And unless that person relays to you, hey, I couldn't get up with Johnny, so I'm moving on to you, just FYI. And now obviously you have to call somebody else. I think it also depends on how big your chain is or how big your circle is. So it's not a bad idea. It's definitely not a bad idea. It's good advice. It's good advice. Let's see here. The Real Patriot medic showed up at Rumble. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see here. Oh my God, YouTube's winning 21-14. Jesus Christ. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and do create communication kits, because I know how much you guys love the gear. All right. So first thing first with the kits, guys. Yeah, I know you hate this. I know it's boring, but we got to get through it. Documents. You need to keep a physical copy of the communication plan and emergency contact list. I've told you before. Make it. Magnets. Take it to your family's house. Just make it appear. Chargers. Store extra chargers, phone chargers, and power banks. We've talked about this in the past. Guys, you have to have alternate power sources. These little devices, they're really handy until they're dead. Also, if you've never seen I did a stupid video. I might have to remake it for you guys. Not remake it, but like do an homage to it, where you can actually, in an emergency with these phones, you can change the power settings so that the only thing that matters is the text messages and the phone calls. And this battery, the battery in this phone, if I set it that way, will last 4 days. You can do it on all your Androids. I don't know about iPhones. I think iPhones are the devil anyway. So let's see here. Base station, a more permanent radio setup with a large antenna and greater power, which you guys will get to see as soon as that radio arrives. We'll see how long it takes to get here. Let's see here. Go bags, portable kits. Every family member should have a small kit with essential communication tools and information. Guys, I'm seeing now, I'm not joking, I'm seeing now where you can buy a Bofang UV5R for $19.98. It's a base radio, it's a battery, it's an antenna. You turn it on, it works. But you can program that sucker, put a little quick dummy card inside of it, throw it in a Ziploc bag, and now it's waterproof. Okay, and put it inside one of these bags for nothing. And all they have to do is put the antenna on it, put the battery on it, turn it on, and shamalama ding dong, you have comms. Okay, you could have one of these in every single go bag for every single member of your family for almost nothing. For the low price of 3 Starbucks coffees, you could have a UV5R in every single go bag. All right, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and check the chat. Looks like you guys were talking. Brian, we got a call list. Next person. Let's see here. Jordan says, keep your user's manual for your devices. I honestly think that there should be a drawer someplace. It's normally in the kitchen. There's a drawer someplace that is full of the user manuals for everything we've ever purchased. I think I have one in every house that I've ever lived in. It's always been like that. Having access to those manuals is pretty awesome. Something else you can do too is you can normally go to the company and download the user manuals and even the tech manuals onto PDFs, throw them on a thumb drive, hang them around your neck. You're going to be golden when it comes to that. But it's great advice, Jordan. Where are we at here? Lots of people, Off-Road Armada said, I'm just calling you Off-Road, man. It's too many words. Lots of people hate the Bofang UV5R, but it is a great gateway to ham radio / comms. Guys, you guys have seen all the videos I've made. You know, there's just no, it's like, it has its flaws. Don't get me wrong. It has its flaws. It's not waterproof. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Technically it's spurious emissions. If you guys don't know what that is, you don't watch enough. It's not a Rubicon. You got to watch that guy. He's hilarious. But anyway, you know, it has a tendency to transmit in places and ways that it's not supposed to, but the signal always goes out, and it's the one radio that you can have. It is the one radio that has the most things that you can buy and add to it. You can give it larger antennas. You can give it a larger battery pack. There's a guy out there that's actually 3D printing special things that you can like add to the sides of the radio that keep the push to talk button from being pressed, that keep the knob from being turned, and you can turn this radio into like, wow, this thing's really good. You know, I mean, will it transmit perfectly every single time? 99% of the time, I would say yes. But you know, and please, nobody, America, or it's not made in America. Please don't do that, because there is not a single radio that does not have Chinese chips in it in America. Okay. Deal with it. Facts are facts. Okay. So, but Off-Road Armada, definitely solid. There we go. Off-Road just looked it up. $17.49 on Amazon right now. Okay. So, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Are other radios out there getting better and better? And frankly, I'll be honest with you, Bofang is getting better and better and better. You know, I'm a little worried about some of these radios that are coming out that they just rename some things. They change the prefix from an R to an X or something, and it's literally the same radio. But they're literally getting better and better and better. And if you guys didn't know this with the Bofangs, one of the reasons that the original UV5Rs are so cheap right now is because Bofang is in the process of changing the batteries that they use on the radios. And they're giving the radios bigger screens. They're giving them better hardware, and they're giving them better software. And so the whole radio itself is changing. Specifically the batteries. The batteries becoming more. They have more amp hours. And they have USB-C charging. So they're moving away from the whole plug on the side thing and the whole cradle for charging. And that means that battery is not compatible with your other UV5R. You see what I'm saying? So things are changing, but these things, there's still tons of these damn things on the shelves, and they're getting cheaper and cheaper by the day. So that was a great catch, Off-Road Armada. Matter of fact, if you get that, if you have time, you could email me that link, and I would share it out for everybody. that would be contact localprepper@gmail.com. I'd love to share that. Unfortunately, this thing's set up so that you can't drop a link in there. You can try. We'll see what happens, but I don't think it'll work. Where we got it. Andy Pearson says on Rumble, the Kirschang UV K5 radios are Bofang killers. Less than $20 on Alien Express, flashed up and rocking 6-meter FM. That sounds awesome. That sounds absolutely awesome. Drop a link in the chat if you can, let's see here. Are they interchangeable? Are what interchangeable, Jordan? I'm going to need a few more specifics on that one. Not being facetious, but I need to be a little bit more information. Let's see here. Okay. Security and privacy. Security, and you know what I need to do, guys? I need to do a quick promo for one of my. Where are we at here? Actually, yes, you guys kind of missed it, but that's okay. So I try to put this out. I actually do it in the Discord. Some people buy in, some people don't. My code actually didn't work, but in the last few days, Augustin Farms is doing a bucket deal, a BOGO bucket deal, and we actually hashed this out with one of my Patreons. I worked it. We figured out that you would actually have saved like $40 on a BOGO through the company and not on Amazon. So, guys, if you are interested in Augustin Farms, they're the only company that I buy the number 10 cans from. The food actually tastes good. I actually use it. It's actually, it's food. I have all their freeze-dried stuff, number 10 cans, and they have actually, they're also Prep Stock sponsor, and they have given us 6 cans of stuffs to give away. I'm pretty sure there's like one meat in there, so that's like $70, and there's probably another thing of eggs, so that's like $80. And then I don't know what else there. It could be anything. It could be peas. It could be a meat. It could be a bear. Oh my! I don't know. I've opened the box. I've glanced at it and said, yep, those are number 6. Those are number 10 cans, and I'm going to give them away at Prep Stock. All right. So, and also, guys, remember the trick. Remember the trick with Augustin Farms. If you use code LocalPrepper, use it per purchase. Don't purchase like 4 or 5 things. Purchase one thing, use the code, get the $10 off. Purchase one thing, wash, rinse, repeat. That's how you actually save money with those codes. All right. So we're going to go with the number 3 template. And with that said, there's the dude that's on that template right there, guys. That's Bobby Spags. He's Spags Unfiltered, and he is also managing the Northwest Preparedness Project. And he has donated 2 Spags bags. They're $165 value to give away at Prep Stock. So that's more stuff that we're going to give away. But the reason I'm telling you that is because I had a conversation with him yesterday, and he has like 10 of these things that need to go. So basically, if you guys are interested in a Spags bag, do me a favor, look it up. I made an entire video about it on YouTube, and it's on Rumble. It's probably an above par starter bug out bag or get home bag. It's a good piece of kit. It's well worth the money. Okay. You would literally only pay for the shipping. If you want one, do me a favor, check out the video, make sure that's what you want. And then 2, get up with me at contactlocalprepper@gmail.com, and I will get you in touch with Bobby Spags, and then you guys can work out the details, and he'll get that bag to you in the mail. Okay, so with all that said, let's talk about security and privacy. Man, this thing is going. How many more of these sections did I got? Oh, man, we're going to have to roll. We got to roll. We only got like 15 more minutes left. Security and privacy. Security information encryption. Use secure methods to secure sensitive information. And make sure that you use password protection. Protect your phones and accounts with strong passwords. Guys, if you guys didn't know that, the Supreme Court, I think it was last month, ruled, maybe a month before, ruled that the police can now use your fingerprint and your eye, your iris looking thing. They can use your eyes and your fingers to open your phone. They've made it legal. What they cannot do is force you to give them your password. So I recommend that you do that whole password thing. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite. Enter PIN, guys. Enter PIN. And it's a pain in the ass every time I want to check out something. But you know what? I know that no one can get in that phone but me. It's just that easy. All right, let's see here. Public information, OPSEC, COMSEC, operational security, communication security, guys. You want to avoid sharing sensitive information on public platforms. Oh yeah. Well, we're smarter than you guys here on Facebook because we have our own Facebook group, and we've got a plan where we all meet up at Cooter's Garage at 5 p.m. on the day of the hurricane. Guys, keep your mouth shut. Speak to people only that need to know the information. Okay. Let me be your voice. Let me be the guy that tells people how to do stuff. You don't be that person. That's why I'm here. All right. So training and education. Matter of fact, I got something in the comment here. Where are we at here? Yes, sir. That's how I roll. What's up, guys? Hey, Kentucky Goatman. It's about time, man. What you been up to? I know school's out, so you better not be getting in trouble. And you got that Jeep together yet? Cooter, coo. Training and education. Teach the basics. Device use. Ensure all family members know how to use communication devices, whether it's a radio or it's a ham radio. I don't care if it's an FM radio. I don't care if it's your mother's guitar. Make sure they know how to use communication devices. Emergency numbers. Teach children how and when to call 911 and other emergency services. Yes, that is kind of important. Let's see here. Training sessions, regular updates, conduct periodic training sessions to review and practice the communications plan. This thing, we don't do this. I know you're not doing this. If you guys actually train your communication plan once a year, put a 1 in the chat. I'd be very interested to see who's doing this stuff. Let's see here. I learned a bit about that. I used to be a bat at InfoSec. Well, InfoSec is not really a super duper thing. It's OPSEC. It's ComSec. InfoSec. Come on, man. Let's see here. I'm just a Fig Newton of your imagination. That's hilarious, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I don't recognize you. Jeep is moving along slowly, but good. I'm glad to hear. I'm doing school all summer. That does not sound good. Okay, let's see here. A 2 for now. Yeah, there you go. I got you, Broseph. I got you. All right. So we got some people that got their trash together. Hopefully, I'd like to think that has something to do with me. I really would. But I mean, you know how it goes. All right, let's see here. Okay, so let's see. Then what we need to do is we need to talk about review and update. As usual, guys, there has to be with every system, the end of that loop is making changes. You know, the review what's happening and make changes, you know, to every plan. So we need to update our contacts, regularly update them. So the contacts list has any new information that was missing from the last time, you know, and also we need to adapt the plans. We need to adjust the communication plan as needed based on family changes or new technologies. And we also need to test the system, you know, regular testing all communication tools periodically to ensure they work. You know, the UV5R, a classic example of that is the UV5R battery is unbelievable. You can charge that thing, put it on the shelf for like 6 months and come back and it's good to go. It's 100%. You know, since they've gone to almost all lithium batteries now, it's a real game changer. But every so often you get a bad battery, so don't trust it. Check the batteries, check the systems, make sure things are actually working. There are some radios that actually have internal batteries that keep things in the memory, and that battery can die. They're normally good for about 3 years. So kind of be aware of that. And then feedback. You know, you want to gather feedback from family members to improve the strategy. That sounds a little happy, joy, but, you know, second set of eyes never hurt anything. That is for sure. All right, so we're going to go ahead and summarize this real quick here, and then we're going to go back to the chat and do a little housekeeping. So by following these steps, you know, you can establish some effective communications strategies that will keep everyone informed and connected during both routine and emergency situations. You know, regular review, practice, and updates are essential to maintain the effectiveness of your communications plan, and that's the truth. You know, I think that's going to be about it. I think that's going to be about it. What do we got here? Do a power off weekend every 6-ish months. I love it. I love it. I think everybody should do that. Looks like Andy was able to drop some links in here for us for his radios. And then I'm trying to open these, open in a new tab. And I don't know where those are coming from because I have got, yeah, let's not do that. There we go. You know what? Let's just copy this link address and then I'll just try and open it someplace just to see what this is before I just blindly do this. All right, let's right there and boom. Alien Express. There we go. There you go. The Kinshaw. That's a good link, man. That's good. I'm going to try and drop that into the chat on the Rumble site or the. There we go. Let's make sure. Let's see if that link goes through. I put it in, so hopefully it works. If not, copy and paste. And he had another one too. Let's go ahead, open a new tab. Wait, it keeps doing this, but it's not opening. Copy link address, and let's drop you in here. And we're going to go butcha. Yeah. And what do we got here? This is the firmware. Okay. Flash with a browser. This is information he's sharing with us. So I'm just going to share it with you. It all looks pretty benign. But I guess you flash with the browser using that right there. Alien Express LP exclamation point question mark. Well, what's the deal? I can't have a different kind of radio. Oh, Kentucky Goatman, you need to grow the hell up, bro. Hey, Kentucky Goatman, I have homework for you. I want you, since you're late to the game, I want you to find me an American-made radio that does not have a Chinese chipset in it. And I'll be back on Monday. I will be back on Monday. All right, guys, I think that's going to be about it. As usual, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on the way out. It's appreciated. I know some of you slackers haven't been doing it, but that is okay. America, right? You know what? I probably need to hide that. That's been on there for a while. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And I also make other videos, too, that you guys have seen before. And also, if you want to support the channel, there's lots of links below in the description. Please do. It does help out. Every little bit helps. So, and as usual, stay safe. Have a great weekend. And I will see you guys when I see you. Patrons, I'll see you in the Discord.